Coach, a very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at U.S. Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Seattle Seahawks and the Minnesota Vikings.
They go play action here on first down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. It'll go as a loss of 3 right away, and it's second down.
Well, we knew coming in it was going to be a long afternoon if they weren't able to hold up against this pass rush, huh?
What we didn't know was that protection was going to spring a leak on the first play from scrimmage.
Got after him right out of the gate.
So following the sack, they'll try to change their fortune here on 2nd and 13. To throw is Wilson. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. The former Pro Bowl linebacker Anthony Barr there to jar it free.
There are a good number of coaches that any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
3rd and long, it's Wilson. Going deep here for Stills. And unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Here we go, here we go, here we go. Tonight, 180. 80. Check safety, check safety.
Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
From the 22, Rosen. That'll be complete to Cook. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A big play on the catch and run, covering 34 yards.
Tell you what, partner, you get the football in his hands, just give him a little bit of open space. As we just saw, he can make you pay.
And he wasn't the top option there, but check down turned into first down and then some. There's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. Add this game to the last one, and they moved the ball over 50 yards in 2 plays.
1st and 10 at the 25-yard line.
Watch the slant. Double tight, double tight, double tight. 4 down, 4 down.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And down inside the 15 he goes. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
And this one hauled in by Rudolph. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Call it a gain of 3, but not enough to move the sticks. It'll be third and about a foot or two.
Got him. Hey, we're pretty quiet, D. We're pretty quiet. Monday.
Now it's Rosen. And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line. The inside linebacker, Danny Trevathan, gets the sack. He probably feels like he cannot get a break. He was sacked 7 times last week. And here we go again in the first quarter.
And we always talk about the internal clock of a quarterback in the pocket and how he has to have a real keen sense of it in order to get rid of the football. After being sacked 7 times last week, that clock has been sped up.
The Seahawks take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got a look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. On second down, it's Carson. Solomon Thomas there on the tackle.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Wilson now to throw on third down. And that's knocked away and incomplete. Give credit to K.J. Wright. He was disrupting defensively.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on third down conversions to start this thing. He gets this away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point.
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post.
Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off by the free safety, Eric Berry.
Oh, and that's a nice job defensively to get a piece of the football. He's going to pop it into the air, and then it's the tip drill. And good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
54 Mike. Hey, watch the slant.
On first down, Carson dances by him. 11 yards there and a first down for Seattle. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to get.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Danielle Hunter, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
It's second down.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now second down and 22 yards to go. Here's Wilson. That's into the hands of his tight end, Will Dissly. That one good for 17 as they're set up better now for third down. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
From the gun on third down, Wilson. And he fires one that's intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. And He'll take it across midfield to the 46-yard line. Really nice pick there for the reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week, and a good story on that. He said he didn't even know he won the award. His buddy had to call him. He saw it on television and said, hey, congratulations. How about that?
And I'll bet you his buddy said, well, since you didn't know, I'll just go ahead and claim the award, right? And everything that goes along with it. But the reason he won the award the previous week and what we just saw there, instincts, understanding where the play is going and being able to make a play on the football.
And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. That one good for 33 and a first. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Rosen will throw. And Thielen's got it. Touchdown Vikings. Adam Thielen, his second touchdown on the season. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Elliott good on the extra point, and the lead grows to 10-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They'll look to get something started. They need to, down 10-0 early as they've got it 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing again. Wilson. That's complete to DK Metcalf. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one good for 26 and a first down. Now a first carry for Daniel Pumphrey. And his first carry, he loses the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get them home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Now this throw caught left side. And he's finally taken down, and it's a big gain there on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Wilson, they'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last two plays.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
They run it with Carson. And a nice pickup there. He gets about 5 down to the 4-yard line.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
They follow up the gain of 5 by only getting 1 there on 2nd down. The Seahawks on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here. And now on the pitch, the ball's loose. And the Vikings pick up the football. He's at the 50, the 30, 20, 10. And they're going to bring this one back. It's a fumble return, a scoop and score for the Vikings. How about that for a momentum swing? You had it goal to go. Not only do you cough it up, but they pick it up and return it all the way for a touchdown.
And now you have to give oxygen to the entire team because what a letdown that was. Terrific drive. Looked like you're going to get points. Instead, the other team registers them on the scoreboard.
Elliott good with a PAT. And that makes our score 17-0. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but well, let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Now it's Wilson. Got the connection here to Bourne. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. To throw again is Wilson. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll try to run with Carson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterback's got it.
And he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. Chris Carson, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Extra point up and through by Myers. And that'll cut the lead to 17-7. So the lead back down to 10 as things get a little more interesting, and the kick is away. That'll be taken in the end zone. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you score points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down. They run again on 1st down. Cook. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Tedrick Thompson picks it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2 minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be second down.
It's a pickup of 6. Brings up second down.
On second down now, it's Carson. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Give him 14 on that one and a first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
This is Carson. Marcus Davenport there to take him down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Tackles.
Now they'll throw it with Wilson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Daniil Hunter make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. A good pickup there at 22. They'll run on first down. It's Carson. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
On second down, it's Carson. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. 11 yards there, first down.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through and picking up first downs.
That's complete to Disley, the tight end. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. On first down, Carson. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. On 2nd and 12, Wilson.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Now Wilson from the gun on third down. Escaping the pressure. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Daniil Hunter in there to get him. And on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. On the right hash, it's a 43-yard attempt. Myers' kick is good. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ballgame.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Lets it fly for Thielen, and that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down.
What has not been the best game for him, but he definitely tried to get by with a little help from his friend there, trying to create a big play.
Couldn't do it, fell incomplete, but you're right, hasn't been a banner game here in the second half, just trying to get going.
Big thing is trying to keep confidence up and continue to fire.
And he picks up about 6 as he gets this down to the 41.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off at the 36. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick 6 last week. Not a pick 6 here, but an interception.
It's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept a pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. But that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. From the 40 now on second down. Wilson. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Marcus Davenport picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete. Coverage there by the safety, Harrison Smith. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part. It got them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction. And they'll play keep away from the returner as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because his confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
They run it again with Cook. Oh, he's got a little daylight. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook, 83 yards. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked so well. Go to something else. And maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Here's Wilson, looking end zone for Jones. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. That's on the big guard, Gabe Jackson. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Caught by Jones. Give him 9 on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
I'm going to hit you. 54 Muck. Check your.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Wilson, complete to Jones. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 30. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Throwing is Wilson. Pass incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Here's Carson. And he's going to be stopped just short of the first down marker at the Vikings 22.
And that's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
They run again with Carson. And he'll have the first down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. The drive stays alive, a 3rd down gain of 8. From the red zone now, here's Wilson on 1st down. Flushed out right. Now he'll pull it down. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. The intended receiver was DK Metcalf, and it's 3rd and 5.
You got to be precise with your throws, especially in this situation. You're inside the 10-yard line going into the end zone. But sometimes the emotion, the excitement, sometimes the decisions just aren't made very well because of that.
Now Wilson. Touchdown, Seahawks.
But this was a pass all the way, but he just kept buying time, didn't he? It was kind of like, wait. Oh, it's open. Time to hot-foot it and go. And, boy, was he successful.
Yeah, didn't go to the outside toward the pylon, just straight ahead, middle third of the field.
Shortest distance between 2 points. Straight line.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense getting the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first.
Here we go.
First and 10 at the 34-yard line.
A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Here's Rosen. Steps away to his left. Gonna let it fly for Rudolph. And this is gonna wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Now Rosen looking to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Taco Charlton in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to 4th down. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35.
At their own 32-yard
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments. He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, Wilson. Going for the deep ball. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. He'll find Metcalf. And he'll be brought down at the 34, well short of the 1st down marker. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down. This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. And this is a beauty as that ball's going to angle out at the 6-yard line. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? But it definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
They start the drive with Cook. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's the Vikings in possession of the football and the lead. They'll be looking to add to that total as we begin quarter number 4. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Rosen. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. Cook following the penalty. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so. An ideal spot here to get a 1st down and try to run some more clock, and this is 2nd and less than a yard. Cook. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. They'll say no gain on the play, so it was looking good, but nothing there, and now it's 3rd down and inches. The offense on 3rd down tonight, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. And now it's Rosen looking, and that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Perhaps they overthought this one a little bit. They've been running it real well on this drive, and it was 3rd and short, okay? They decided to throw the football incomplete. Yeah, they might have thought just a little bit too hard about that play selection.
A good return there, call it 13 yards. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10.
At their own 22-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. And he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
From the gun on 3rd down. Wilson. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. 1st down Seattle on a pickup of 13. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
He's going to let this one go deep into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. And he'll get this one out to the 50 to the midfield stripe. Thought he had the pick. Flag comes in for PI, so cancel it out.
Interference. Oh, a killer for them. Thought they had a nice play. Instead, they'll be marching up yardage against them.
Now it's Wilson. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. Trey Waynes, the Michigan State man, right there in coverage.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 11 yards there, first down. Throwing now, Wilson on first down. Short throw to Disley. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the first down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. This one into the hands of Metcalf. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. Chris Carson with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. As his guys are an extra point away now from taking the lead here in the 4th. A very important extra point there, up and good. Nothing separating these two sides. 24 all our score as he sends this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
Let's go!
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. Had a bit of a lane there, took advantage of it. Give him 7 there on the first down carry. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. On play action, Rosen. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. That's caught inside the 20. A big play there for Minnesota. 42 yards.
But we spent a lot of time exalting the offensive masterminds in this game, right? They draw up these beautiful plays. They look so perfect up on the board. But occasionally, sometimes you just say, throw it up and let him go get it. How about that play?
From the red zone now, here's Rosen on first down. And that'll be caught by Diggs for a Minnesota touchdown. Stephon Diggs, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings have taken the lead. Elliott good on the extra point, and they will take a 7-point lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They come up on a second down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down the wire. Now a pass dumped off to his running back. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. It's a first down on a gain of 10. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. Anthony Barr in on the tackle.
Short gain, last 2 plays. Who do you think's excited about that?
Absolutely. This defense, they're saying go right ahead with those. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Wilson to throw. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And finally marked down at the 42-yard line. A gain there of 21 yards. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. That one going to be complete to David Moore. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds showing on the clock. Back to throw. He completes it to Jones. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go in the football game. They'll look to throw. And this ball is caught. It's a touchdown. And now in the final seconds, they're a PAT away from likely getting this thing to overtime. They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for. And this touchdown will count. A very important extra point there, up and good. And we may very well be headed to overtime. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They have a little bit of time here to get into field goal range. Not much. In a tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
I agree with you on that one. Risk-reward, okay? If you go for it, what is the absolute reward on this? But the risk is probably greater. Run the clock out, get to overtime, and try and win it there.
All right, we'll see if they do just that.
At the 30-yard line.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. And here come the whistles and a timeout with 7 seconds left. Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10.
Get him! 52's the mic, boys. 52. Let's go, Javi.
Now it's Rosen. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. Right now, everything resting on the right foot of Jake Elliott. And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. Right now, everything resting on the right foot of Jake Elliott. 2 seconds on the clock. This for the win. And his kick is good. From 49 yards away, he nailed it. And it'll be a fun time in the Twin Cities tonight. The Vikings win it. Well, a little drama there at the end, but really this thing was already decided. The late points get scored, and then it ends on the kickoff.
And I'm right there with you, partner. At the end of the game, they knew what they had to do. Just make sure you don't cough up the football at the end. Just take care of it, and victory was theirs, and that's exactly what they did.
So for the Vikings, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Chicago Bears. Meanwhile, for Seattle, they'll fall to 1-2. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.